Coronation Street spoilers, exit, danger, bombshells, and chaos ahead. There are plenty of dramatic developments coming up on Coronation Street, with next week's spoilers teasing a departure, serious danger, shocking revelations, and more trouble for the residents of Weatherfield. Cassie opens up to Tim about Steve ending their relationship and Tyrone forcing her out, leaving her with little reason to remain in Weatherfield. She soon makes the decision to leave and reveals that she has secured a new job working aboard a cruise ship. Before leaving, Cassie says emotional farewells to Hope, Ruby, and Doran. Fizz gives Cassie a family photograph as a keepsake, while Cassie arranges to meet Steve. However, when she arrives at the precinct, Ross suddenly appears and offers her a lift. Ross locks the car doors before driving away, immediately raising questions about whether Cassie could be in serious danger. Later, Ross reveals plans to move into the area, prompting Fizz to keep a close watch on him. Steve eventually asks Ross where he left Cassie. At first, Ross pretends that he doesn't know what Steve is talking about, but he is forced to change his account when Steve reveals that he saw Cassie getting into Ross's car. Why is Ross refusing to admit that he was the last person seen with Cassie? And what really happened between them after he drove away? Could Ross have harmed Cassie? Actress Claire Sweeney has already teased that there could be more to her character's fate, leaving Fizz with plenty of reason to remain suspicious of Ross. Elsewhere, Debbie steps in to assist a woman named Sadie, who is later revealed to be Sienna's mother. Things quickly become difficult when Sadie lashes out, while Sienna refuses Asha's offer of support. Later, Asha and Sienna have an emotional conversation about Sadie's dementia and the effect it is having on their lives. Meanwhile, Betsy tells Ryan that she wants to speak to Dylan, although she remains worried about how her mother Lisa will react. Ryan brings Dylan to see Betsy, and she attempts to reassure him that she doesn't blame him for the stroke she suffered. However, their conversation is interrupted when Lisa arrives. Lauren is horrified to discover that Dylan has been allowed to visit Betsy and insists that he must be held responsible for what happened. Brody also warns Dylan to keep his distance from Betsy. The situation soon turns aggressive when Dylan hits back at Brody, and the pair become involved in a confrontation, forcing Nina to step in and separate them. Later, Nina makes a shocking discovery when she finds Dylan unconscious. He is rushed to hospital, but eventually returns home and thanks Nina for coming to his aid. Sean then accuses Brody of being responsible for Dylan's injuries. The tension surrounding Dylan continues when Betsy and Lauren have a heated argument. Lauren storms out, leaving Betsy by herself. But when she eventually returns, Carla is furious with her for abandoning a distressed Betsy. The situation becomes even more upsetting when they discover that Betsy has wet herself while she was alone. Elsewhere, Kit tells Bethany about Gary's connection to Theo's murder. He blames Gary for Sarah failing to go to the police when she had the opportunity, adding another layer to the fallout from the murder storyline. Tim later unexpectedly runs into his cousin Richie and invites him over for a drink. Richie opens up about the problems in his marriage, prompting Tim to offer him somewhere to stay for the night. With fresh arrivals, emotional departures, dangerous confrontations, and major revelations on the horizon, Weatherfield is set for another explosive week of drama. Idris manipulates Ollie and Lauren in a risky Coronation Street scheme. Idris Nazir, played by Junaid Khan, appears determined to manipulate almost everyone around him in Coronation Street. His latest targets are Lauren Bolton, portrayed by Kate Fitton, and Ollie Driscoll, played by Raphael Akudike. Back in May, executive producer Kate Brooks teased that Leanne Battersby, played by Jane Danson, would become involved with a ruthless new love interest. It quickly became clear that the description barely did justice to just how dangerous Idris really is. Idris has already shown that he is far from trustworthy. Not only is he a ruthless landlord whose mold-infested property left Abby Webster's son, Alfie Franklin, suffering from serious breathing problems, but he has also been pulling troubled teenager Brody Michaelis into his criminal activities. And now, Idris has another ambitious plan on his mind. The latest villain has his sights firmly set on Speed Doll, much to Alia Nazir's frustration. There is an added complication to their relationship, too. as Idris recently revealed that he isn't actually Alia's cousin, as she had believed. Instead, he is her previously unknown uncle, a revelation that Idris deliberately used to distract Alia while he continued working towards his own plans. Alia has already made the decision to sell her share of Speeddoll, but the big question remains: will Idris be the person who eventually buys it? Upcoming episodes will see Alia consider Idris's offer as he desperately tries to raise enough cash to purchase her share. However, his latest money-making scheme involves using neighbors Ollie and Lauren to help him get what he wants. Ollie is known for being a friendly and decent local chef, while Lauren is equally kind-hearted but certainly isn't someone who will tolerate being pushed around. That means Idris could be taking a serious risk by dragging the pair into his latest scheme. When Alia tells Idris that she expects £50,000 for her stake in Speeddoll, he considers how he can come up with the money while playing chess with Sam Blakeman inside the restaurant. Ollie spots the pair playing and mentions that he used to be a keen poker player. That comment immediately gives Idris an idea. Idris later admits that he is still £15,000 short of the amount he needs to complete the deal. Leanne agrees to lend him £5,000. Giving Idris some much-needed financial breathing room. He then decides to host a private poker game at Speeddoll and recruits Ollie and Lauren to help organize it. Idris tells them that it is simply a poker night and makes it clear that neither Alia nor Leanne can discover what is really happening. He then offers Ollie a particularly tempting proposition. Idris promises to supply Ollie with the money needed to enter the game, assures him that the odds will be in his favor, and offers him a percentage of whatever he wins. As Lauren and Brody prepare the restaurant for the game, Lauren accidentally overhears Idris explaining the plan to Ollie. She immediately warns Ollie that cheating could have serious consequences if anyone catches him. Kit Green, meanwhile, learns about the poker game through Brody and begins asking questions at Speeddoll. Although Idris is reluctant, Kit eventually persuades him to allow him to join the game as one of the players. Unfortunately, Kit isn't the only person at the table who could cause Idris problems. Another participant is Fiona Morley, a local car dealer with a questionable reputation. Viewers may remember Fiona from the earlier storyline, involving the gun that ended up in Carl Webster's hands during the dramatic confrontation at the garage. Fiona decides to raise the stakes, doubling the amount of money involved. Once the poker game gets underway, Idris watches the players closely, while Brody secretly helps himself to drinks behind the bar. As the game progresses, players gradually drop out, until only Fiona and Ollie remain. Against the odds, Ollie comes out on top and wins the game. Idris is visibly relieved, but Fiona is furious about losing, and an angry Fiona Morley is certainly not someone Idris will want to have on his bad side. Idris later confronts Brody after catching him taking drinks, but Brody accidentally lets the truth slip to Leanne. He reveals that the event was actually a poker night, and that Ollie won using the money Leanne had given Idris. Idris has effectively put Ollie and Lauren in the middle of a dangerous situation involving a ruthless criminal, all in an attempt to raise enough money to purchase Speeddoll. Now the question is whether Leanne will discover exactly what Idris has been up to, and if she does, how she will react. Coronation Street airs on weeknights at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and streams on ITVX.